It was a Thursday night, the kind where the air feels still and silence becomes a little too loud. I was finishing some work on my laptop when my phone buzzed. The notification came from her. Just one line. "I'm at my ex's, deal with it." First I thought it was a joke. Maybe she was trying to get a reaction like she sometimes did when we argued. But something about those words felt cold, deliberate. There was no emoji, no hint of playfulness, just arrogance. I stared at the screen for a long time. My first instinct was anger, the kind that burns fast and fades just as quickly. But then came something worse, calm. The kind of calm that only arrives when you finally realize how far someone has drifted from who they used to be. I didn't call. I didn't text back. Instead, I sat there, remembering all the times I defended her to my friends. All the red flags I folded into excuses. The late replies, the sudden girls' nights that never added up. The way she guarded her phone like a secret. I had seen it all, but love makes you blind and patient. Not tonight. I typed slowly, making sure every word was clear. Then deal with losing me. No anger. No begging. Just finality. I hit send, set my phone down, and felt something I hadn't felt in months, peace. She didn't reply immediately. But within minutes, the messages started flooding in. "Wait, what do you mean? Don't overreact, it's not what it sounds like. Can we just talk, please?" I ignored every single one. Because when someone throws away your trust to test your breaking point, the only real answer is silence. An hour later she called. 5 times. Then 10. I let it ring. She even texted, "I'm coming over." But I'd already made up my mind. If she could be bold enough to disrespect me, she could be brave enough to face life without me. That night, for the first time, I didn't lose sleep over her absence. Instead, I slept soundly, not because I stopped loving her, but because I finally started respecting myself. By morning, I woke up to 12 missed calls and a dozen desperate messages. The last one said, "Please just open the door. I'm outside." I didn't rush. I took my time, brewed my coffee, and stood by the window watching her pacing near her car. Hair messy, eyes wide, the same woman who'd texted me, "Deal with it," only hours ago. When I finally opened the door, she tried to walk past me like nothing had happened. But I stepped aside, arms crossed. "You said you were at your ex's," I said quietly. "How'd that go?" She froze, her lips parting in disbelief. "Daniel, I was just trying to make you jealous." "I didn't actually." "Stop," I interrupted. "You wanted to hurt me, and you did. Congratulations." Her voice cracked. "I didn't think you'd actually leave. I thought you'd fight for me like you always do." That line hit me harder than I expected. Because she was right, I used to fight for her. Every argument, every misunderstanding, every cold night, I'd be the one trying to fix things. But something in me had shifted. "I'm done fighting for someone who treats love like a weapon," I told her. "You wanted a reaction and now you have it. I'm walking away." Her eyes filled with tears. "Daniel, please, I made a mistake." I was angry. I didn't mean it. I almost believed her. Almost. But then I remembered all the other mistakes she'd claimed before. The lies wrapped in apologies, the promises that dissolved in a week. So instead of arguing, I just nodded and said, "You know, it's strange. I used to think losing you would destroy me. But now that I'm standing here, I realize it's not loss. It's release." She started crying, whispering, "You don't mean that." But I did. For once, I wasn't bluffing or hoping she'd change. I wasn't holding on to the version of her I loved, because she'd already buried that version under her pride. As she stood there speechless, I walked back inside, closed the door, and let the silence swallow the last piece of what we once were. That was the moment I knew. Some goodbyes aren't loud or messy. They're just quiet decisions made by someone who's finally had enough. The days that followed were quiet, almost painfully so. No texts, no calls, no attempts to reach me. Just emptiness. The kind of emptiness that clears the mind and sharpens perspective. I used that time to reflect on everything that had led to that moment. The late nights, the constant need to defend her actions, the subtle manipulations disguised as humor, the little betrayals I'd overlooked. And I realized something crucial. Love isn't about enduring someone else's cruelty. It's about respect. Without it, everything else is meaningless. She finally broke her silence on the 3rd day. I was in the kitchen making coffee when her voice came from the doorway. "Daniel, can we talk?" I turned slowly, measuring my response. Do you mean about your ex, or about the way you treated me? Her face paled. Both? I didn't think you'd actually do it. I didn't think you'd walk away. I set down my mug. Walking away isn't the hard part. The hard part was realizing I had been invisible to you for months, and that you never noticed until it was too late. Her lower lip trembled. I messed up. I know that now. Please let me make it right. I shook my head. You can't fix respect with apologies. You can't replace lost trust with promises. What's gone is gone. Her shoulders slumped, the fight leaving her. For the first time, she understood the consequences of her own choices. She realized that testing someone's limits isn't a game. It's a risk. And this time she lost. Over the next week, she tried everything. Messages, calls, even leaving small notes in the kitchen. I didn't respond. I watched her struggle without my reaction, just as she had made me struggle with her absence. By the end of the month, she had learned a hard truth. Taking someone for granted comes at a cost. And while some lessons fade, this one was etched deep, because it wasn't delivered in anger or revenge. It was delivered in calm, deliberate silence. When she finally spoke again, it wasn't to demand attention or manipulate my feelings. She simply said, softly, I understand now. I shouldn't have done that. I see what I lost. I nodded. Exactly. And the important thing is, I don't have to fix it. That's yours to live with. Some lessons are cruel, some are quiet, and some are powerful enough to change the course of a relationship, or end it entirely. And in this case, the silence spoke louder than any argument, any plea, or any apology ever could. Because sometimes the best way to make someone understand is to give them exactly what they gave you and nothing more.